Next up at UFC Orlando, we have Niko, the hybrid Price, taking on Philip Rowe. Niko Price, 15-5 overall, 2-1 in his last 5. Coming back after a year away, he was suspended for a little bit of weed.
Weed! Stay off the weed! I think he said he's done with it, too. He's like refocused, everything.
Could be. Philip Rowe, 9-3 overall, 4-1 in his last 5. All 4 of those wins are by stoppage. This should be a really interesting fight because Niko Price is wild. Everybody knows he's wild. That dude does not care. He will go out there, swing crazy, do crazy stuff, and just have fun trying to win fights. He can wrestle, but he doesn't use it that much. He swings. He's got good power. He has 2 knockouts off his back. Two. The dude's crazy. Ton of fun. Has knockout power. Can get submissions. But he also gets knocked out, right? That's what makes him so fun. He'll come out there, do crazy stuff at the risk of his health, and sometimes it doesn't pay off. Philip Rowe, 9-3. So not a ton of experience. If we're comparing these two guys, Philip Rowe definitely has more MMA experience. Niko definitely has more MMA experience than Phil. But Phil is a solid striker. He's long. He's got good volume. He does a great job using that length, using that range. And his power is impressive. His ground game is not impressive at all. He's going to get smoked by any decent wrestler. Actually, his jiu-jitsu is good, but his wrestling is just absolute trash city. He's going to get beat by any decent wrestler that has a chin. That's about what was going to happen to him in his last fight. Jason Witt taking him down over and over and over, controlling him, but then he got his hands going, found that power, knocked him out. Niko Price is not that guy. He can be that guy. He can just shoot a bunch of takedowns, win this fight. But I don't see him doing that. I think he's going to come out there, try to have fun. He's fighting in Orlando. He'll have a big crowd there watching him, and he's going to fall into his old habits. And if he's going to go strike for strike, swing for swing, I think Philip Rowe gets it done, wins this fight. I like Philip Rowe to win. I like him in the underdog spot. He's just proven over and over again that he can get these finishes. So Philip Rowe's the pick. And the last thing I'll mention before I hand it over is Niko Price lives in Cape Coral. They were smacked by that hurricane. My mom lives there. My brother lives there. They're still dealing with it. Oh, my God.
Here we go. A little sob story.
No, I'm like, they're still dealing with it. This dude has kids, a wife. I have no idea how bad off his house was or wasn't. Who knows where he's, if he's training, how focused he is, isn't. All of those things combined, a year away, I like Philip Rowe even more. What do you think?
I broke down this fight, and I like Niko, right? I think there's no one that dislikes Niko. Like you said, he's a fun dude. I've never seen the wildest thing I ever saw was Niko in that Cowboy Cerrone fight when it was like a draw, and he was like the most excited person in the world. When Cowboy Cerrone's looking at him like, what the fuck? What are you doing right now? He's like, woohoo! Like I just had a draw, like he just won a title, which was crazy. But yeah, the weed thing, apparently he has stopped it all. Refocus. He showed off some wrestling in his last fight, but what I was alluding to is I broke down this fight, as I do every Sunday on my Twitter. I break it down, and then I look at the odds. I could not believe, and listen to what I'm saying here, people. I could not believe that Philip Rowe was the underdog in this fight, and I just have to assume that people are doing 1 + 1 = 2, and that is Philip Rowe can get taken down. Niko has been taking people down. So 1 + 1 = a Niko victory. That's not what's going to happen in this fight. Niko, even if he gets hit, takes him down. Philip Rowe, as you mentioned, jiu-jitsu very good. If you listen to what Philip Rowe says, he says, you know what? I'm a slow starter. First round, I just can't get into fights. I get taken down, but I know how to stay safe, right? I know how to stay safe. I know what I'm doing down there. I know if there is no threat when somebody is on top of me. Can he lose rounds like that? Yeah, he loses rounds like that. But once he gets going, you see what he does with his hands. He is an absolute sniper. And if there's one thing that happens with Niko is he gets hit. He is tough because he gets hit. He gets in these firefights. And if he gets hit against a guy like Phil Rowe, he is going to get put the fuck out. So, yes, this could be Niko coming in, wrestling. It looks good, right? Wrestle. And then all of a sudden, it's Philip Rowe doing what he does. The second round starts on the feet. Boop, boop. Right hand, boom, lights out. I love Phil Rowe in this matchup. And even on the ground, maybe he starts throwing, some scrambles, uses jiu-jitsu because he is pretty well versed. But I can't believe that Philip Rowe is the underdog. And I know the odds flip back and forth. I think Niko was the favorite, and then Philip Rowe was the favorite for a little bit. Now Niko's the favorite again. So I am Philip Rowe all the way in this matchup.
I mean, I agree. My eyes just like really got dry on me. I agree. Obviously, I mean, Niko's the more well-rounded fighter here. Absolutely, 100% the more well-rounded fighter.
I disagree.
Yeah, I mean, he's got power. He can strike. He can wrestle. He can grapple. He can do all the things. The problem is he doesn't. He just ends up in a slugfest, has a ton of fun. And frankly, good for him, right? Because he's getting paid bonuses. We all know his name. Like he's, it is the entertainment business, and he recognizes that aspect of it, and he'll have a job for a while because of that. But you and I both on the Philip Rowe side, $7,800, like him in DraftKings as well as an underdog because he likely will win by stoppage with his range, with the power he's able to find, and with Niko's reckless abandon. You agree?
Yeah, we'll just say Niko. I want to listen to what you're saying, but Niko has been put out 3 of his last 4 fights. Not fights, but losses. 3 of his last 4 losses he's been put out. And that's not a good stat against a guy like Phil Rowe.
Sure. No, I completely agree. Monkey Knife Ice Strike Line, this is one that I am not going to touch. But listen, Niko may have just seen that wit fight and be like, hey, I could just shoot 1,000,000 takedowns and do that. But hometown crowd, essentially. It's about 3 hours north of where he lives. But he'll have a bunch of people there rooting for him. And it's hard to be boring in that situation. It is hard to just shoot takedowns and be boring. He's going to get in a slugfest, and it may not go his way.
Slug fights, I bet those are exciting. Those are more exciting than Rose and Carla. A little slug fight.
Did you put salt on slugs?
Sometimes. No, I don't. No, PETA.
Never.
PETA. Hey.
Do you never put salt on slugs? What a loser,
hey.
Man.
I was gonna say slug fights sometimes are my Friday nights as well.
Just rub it. Anyway, no salt, huh?
I don't even know what you're talking. PETA. I'm not getting canceled. Sorry.
You genuinely don't know what I'm talking about?
PETA.
Okay. PETA. They're probably more concerned about where your dog is and what your dog's doing than putting some salt on some slugs.